What is going on, guys? DBG here, and this is the third video of the day. In this video I'm going to be doing a ratings prediction video, but I'm going to be doing the rookies that are not in NBA 2K17 that are going to be in 2K18. So I'm just going to go over the top 5 picks in this video, and if we could hit 500 likes, that would be insane. This is the third video I've uploaded today, and I've spent pretty much my entire day sitting at this desk, and I will spend pretty much the rest of the day sitting at this desk, because right now I am streaming on Twitch TV as soon as this video is uploaded. So watch the whole video, link will be in the description if you want to see me streaming. I'm really close to 1,000 followers on Twitch at the minute, so if we could hit that by the end of the day, that would be insane. And anyway, now let's get on to the top 5 picks and what ratings I think they're going to be. So first of all, we have got the 5th pick, De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, as you all probably should know, is a point guard who played for Kentucky, and in the NCAA tournament he dropped 39 points on UCLA. Yes, 39 points on the Lonzo Ball led UCLA team. De'Aaron Fox was predicted to be maybe a top 10 pick, but shot up most draft boards after that game, and he continued to impress in pre-draft workouts. Last season in Kentucky, his freshman year, De'Aaron Fox averaged 16.7 points, 4 rebounds and 4.6 assists per game, which is really good. He's a 6'4", extremely fast point guard with a 6'6.5" wingspan. He's actually been compared almost to John Wall. A lot of people think he's going to be the next John Wall. I don't think he's going to be as good as John Wall, but honestly, he has one of the highest ceilings in this draft. He could literally be a Westbrook for all we know. I doubt it, but it's definitely possible with a player of his standard. But in NBA 2K17, I think they're going to start off by giving him a 74 overall silver card. I think that, obviously, assuming that they keep the exact same rating system as they keep this year, I think they're going to give him a 74 overall silver card, and I think that he's going to be an absolute beast of a silver. Kind of like Moutier was this year, but maybe with a little bit less of a jump shot. Emmanuel Moutier was so good for silver. Like, I used him as my starting point guard till like the Ruby League back at the start of the game when people were using cheap cards. But as far as silver cards go, he's going to be one of the best because he's quick. He's not going to have much of a jump shot, but I think he's going to have maybe a 65-ish 3-point shot, somewhere around there where he'll be able to hit them in the lower seeds, but he's not going to come close to hitting them once the difficulty steps up. But he's going to be a really fun player to start off the game with, and if he gets a couple of moments cards, has 1 or 2 good shooting games, could be an absolute beast of a card in NBA 2K18. So the number 4 pick was Josh Jackson out of Kansas, the player with the highest ceiling in this draft according to a lot of people. He also could struggle a little bit, but I don't think so. I don't think he's going to struggle. I think at worst he's going to be a solid role player. He averaged 16.3 points per game last year, 7.4 rebounds and 3 assists per game. Josh Jackson is a 6'8" small forward with 6'9" wingspan, and they actually said he could play a little bit at the 2 guard, which I doubt it because he's not really a jump shooter, which is the main reason that the Boston Celtics passed on him at number 3, when he was quite clearly the 3rd best prospect in the draft. But I think that Josh Jackson, just because of how good he was in college, I think they're going to give him a 75 overall silver card. I think that's a fair card from being one of the best silvers in the game, a very similar card rating to what they gave Brandon Ingram last year. And I think Jackson definitely is deserving of a card at around the 75 overall rating. I don't think they're going to give him much of a jump shot. I think he's going to have less of a jump shot than De'Aaron Fox. I think he's going to be a very similar card to the Andrew Wiggins card last year, or this year, sorry. If you remember, I think he started off with like a 40-something 3-point shot. I think Josh Jackson could end up something like that, and who knows, he could end up in game being like a Michael Kidd-Gilchrist type player and not that effective in game. I can't see him straight away being a really good card to use, but I think if he gets 1 or 2 good moments cards, maybe he has a good shooting game and his jump shot boosts up, he's going to be a beast to use, and he has the potential to do that. But out of the gate, I can't see him being that fun to use because 2K18, just like every 2K, is going to be extremely reliant on the 3-point shot, just like real life basketball. But Josh Jackson's going to be great rebounding, he's going to be great going to the basket, he's just not going to really have a great jump shot. The 3rd pick in the draft was Jayson Tatum by the Boston Celtics. Jayson Tatum's stats weren't as good as Josh Jackson's. He averaged 16.8 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 2.1 assists per game. But what a lot of people don't seem to notice is that Jayson Tatum is over a year younger than Josh Jackson, even though they were both freshmen. Tatum has got a longer wingspan, 6'11", compared to 6'9" for Josh Jackson. And I think that Tatum is going to be a 74 overall silver. Yes, 74. You might be thinking, why would they give the number 3 pick a lower rated card than they gave the number 4 pick? It's just because they thought that Jackson was the better player. Like, in general, it's seen as Jackson is the better player out of the two of them, and I think the 2K are going to give him a higher rating. Just like last year, Thon Maker ended up as a 67 overall bronze, even though he was the 10th pick in the draft. Whereas I think Malcolm Brogdon was higher and he was a second round pick. I could be wrong on that one, but he was the 10th pick and they gave him a very low bronze rating. So the picks aren't necessarily how they're going to be rated in NBA 2K17. But Tatum is a really good player. He's going to be a 74 overall, I think. And unlike Josh Jackson and De'Aaron Fox, he's going to be able to shoot the ball right off the bat. I think that Jayson Tatum is going to have about a 75 maybe open shot three. He's going to be able to shoot it off the bat in game, especially with the lower difficulty. Cards like Dragon Bender last year were knocked down from three until you got to like the Ruby League. And I think that Tatum is going to be a card like that. I think he's going to be a really good kind of small forward that people play at the power forward position, because I think his rebounding is going to be relatively high. Because he did average 7.3 rebounds per game, which is quite good. And he's going to be a really fun card to use in game, more than likely. And definitely a card that I'm going to be picking up to try out anyway in NBA 2K18, especially at the start of the game. Next up, we have got the number 2 overall pick, the most hyped up prospect since probably LeBron James, and pretty much hyped up just because of his dad. It is Lonzo Ball from UCLA, who was picked by the Los Angeles Lakers. If you say something enough, it'll happen, which was proven by LeVar Ball. From before the Lakers even knew if they'd kept their pick, he was saying he was going to be a Laker, and it turns out he's going to be a Laker. Last season, Lonzo Ball scored 14.6 points per game. That's 6 rebounds per game, something that not a lot of people mention when they're talking about his stats. And also led the nation in assists with 7.6 assists per game. Lonzo Ball actually shot something like 70% from inside the 3-point line and shot 41% from 3. He's the only person in history ever to shoot over 70% from 2 and 40% from 3. He shot a seriously high percentage of from the field while scoring 14.6 points per game. That's something that no one really talks about, how efficient Lonzo Ball's scoring was. He hit some massive shots throughout the year as well. And even though he didn't perform well in the game that got knocked out against Kentucky, the fact that his mom had a stroke a couple of days before it has to have affected him slightly. But I think that Lonzo Ball is going to be given a 76 overall gold rating. That's my prediction, 76 overall gold. He's a 6'6" point guard with a 6'7" wingspan. Like 6'6". That's like nearly Sean Livingston big. People don't realize how big he actually is. Like, he's Michael Carter Williams big. I think he might be an inch or so bigger, or the same height as Michael Carter Williams. And Carter Williams was a very tall point guard. But Lonzo Ball, I think, is going to be the best out of all of this draft class. I think a 76 overall card is what 2K are going to give him, because to be honest, he's hyped up. He's hyped up more than the number 1 pick. And I genuinely think that 2K are going to rate him at 76. I thought there was only going to be 1 gold, and I think that 2K are going to make 2 golds. I think that Lonzo Ball is going to have maybe 78 shot 3, something like that. But I think he's going to be a gold because I wouldn't be surprised if 2K give him passing stats in the high 80s out of the mark, which will definitely bump him up, especially since he's a point guard in overall rating. He's not going to be a great defender, but he is going to be able to shoot the ball, he's going to be able to pass it, and he's going to be able to dribble it. And it's definitely going to be a card I pick up early in NBA 2K18, and hopefully he's as good a card as I think he's going to be next year. And the number 1 pick in the draft is a guy who I don't think is the best player in this draft. To be honest, I don't think he's going to be that good an NBA player, even though a lot of people think he might be an all-star very soon. I just am not a big fan of this guy, and it's Markelle Fultz. So Markelle Fultz averaged 23.2 points per game, which is incredible for a freshman. 5.7 rebounds, which is really good, and 5.9 assists per game. But his team did only win 9 games playing for Washington. He's a 6'4" point guard with nearly a 6'10" wingspan, which pretty much means the height advantage that Lonzo Ball would have is pretty much like counteracted by the fact that Markelle Fultz has much longer arms. But Markelle Fultz is an extremely good player, don't get me wrong, and I think the 2K are going to rate Fultz at a 76 overall gold. So I think that Fultz and Ball are going to have the exact same overall rating in NBA 2K18. But the thing with Fultz is, I think he's going to have lower passing stats. I think Ball is going to have passing stats in like a league of his own compared to all the other rookies. But I think the Fultz is going to be almost as good, if not as good a shooter. But you don't know with the release. Ball's release could be great, could be terrible, but I think Fultz may have the nicer release. Fultz is going to be able to score better. That's a given. Fultz is going to be a better scorer in the NBA. And Fultz is also going to have better defensive stats. So I think that when all things I said, that they're going to have the same overall rating. And I think, to be honest, that's deserved. I honestly think Lonzo Ball is a better player, but Markelle Fultz is still a great player. And I think that giving them the same rating to start it is probably what 2K should do, and it's what I think the 2K are going to do. If I was giving my opinion, I'd have Lonzo Ball 1 rating higher, but this is a predictions, not really my opinion on what I think they're going to be rated, and I think that they're going to be rated the exact same at a 76 overall. So anyway, that's the video. Again, as I said with Fultz, this is not my opinion. This is not my opinion on what I think they're going to be rated. This is my prediction. If I was giving my opinion, I would have Frank Ntilikina up near the top because I think he's going to be a star. I would have, I'm trying to look now, I'd obviously have Malik Monk up there. I would have Lonzo Ball ahead of Markelle Fultz. But again, it's not my opinion. These are just predictions, and I think these are going to be the top 5 rookies that 2K are going to rate highest, and I think they're going to rate them what I predicted them, obviously because I predicted them. So anyway, that's the video. If we could hit 500 likes, that would be insane. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.